What's up, everybody? I'm Jacob. If you're new here, I talk a little bit about everything. If you like that, stick around a little longer. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the web traffic apocalypse. Something's been going on quietly behind the scenes due to AI. We hear a lot in the media about AI taking human jobs and getting rid of human skills and changing the fabric of work. Did a video last week or maybe 2 weeks ago on AI doing hiring and AI doing firing. But something else that's interesting is happening is that even the big tech .com companies are feeling the pinch of AI taking away revenue. And they're dubbing it the web traffic apocalypse. So let me give you a little example here of what I'm talking about. I'm going to go into AI here, and I'm just going to ask it a question that I pre-typed out. What is the study that says 39% of job skills will disappear, and how soon is that? So just to have it do a search, and this is what I'm talking about. This doodad right here, AI overview. This is Google's AI called Gemini, and what it's doing is it's pulling content from other websites and displaying it here. And a lot of companies, a lot of websites are noticing that their web traffic is dropping dramatically. And they're saying that it's due to this, which is ironic because the whole thing with search engines has always been to use them to maximize your traffic, right? You do SEO, search engine optimization, and all that stuff. And now we're getting to the point where Google's countering that idea or that concept and trying to get people to stay on their site longer, which is kind of weird because you don't stay on Google or at least the search engine to read more. You want to get to where you want to go. So there's kind of this conflict of interest thing happening. So I wanted to look a little more into that, and I used Perplexity, which is a really good tool that I use quite a bit for when I want to do more like statistical or news related type research. And I remember hearing about Stack Overflow suffering, was like one of the early ones talking about suffering from this web traffic apocalypse. So I asked Perplexity, give me articles around lawsuits regarding Google's Gemini results, which are causing a, quote, website traffic apocalypse. Of main note, stackoverflow.com. And of course, I put on main note. But this is kind of the beauty of AI. And this is why I don't like practice anything first. I want to demonstrate that AI still understands poor grammar, and you can be a total idiot and still use AI effectively. But give me a sec here. I've got another piece of information here I want to get ready. Okay, here we go. So what's interesting about this these lawsuits is again, it's around the SEO optimization is kind of the model that's gonna go away here pretty quick. And the question is going to be, how are you going to optimize your website so that it will get ingested or featured in the AI? Because the whole point, one of the reasons why Google became the king of search, if you remember way back before search engines became a thing, we had what was called lists of lists, which they were just literally links that were categorized, and you go into different pages and you go down multiple pages until you got to the subject you wanted. And it was very all human edited. And then we got into search engines where it became more automatic, and you put in the search bar and it would search the list of lists, and it kind of became more of what we understand search engines to be today. But even in that phase, we didn't have the type ahead where you start typing and the search engine guesses what you're typing for you. So that was another major innovation. But even from right after lists of lists, when we first got the search bar, pretty much up to almost now, SEO has been the thing. I mean, that's how you get exposure to your website. So, but the idea behind that ultimately was why Google became king, is because they figured out really quick how to optimize their searches to show people what they wanted. Because I remember in the early days of search engines, you would go like 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 pages down, before you found something that you wanted. And Google got really good at making everything that most people wanted to show up on the first page. So, what's going to happen with this AI thing? Let me show it again here. This AI overview, is there going to be some kind of optimization, or they're just going to forego all of that? Is that going to kill off all the SEO jobs? We're already seeing the effect on traffic. Lots of big questions, lot of shaking up going on right now. But let's look at some of the landmark cases, or some of the big cases that Perplexity pulled up here. So it says, recent lawsuits against Google's highlight concerns over its AI-powered search features, particularly AI overviews powered by Gemini, which are causing significant traffic declines for various websites. While there isn't specific information about stackoverflow.com, so maybe I remembered that wrong. But again, like I said, I don't rehearse these so that I get perfect results. I want to show the ugliness of typing incorrectly, remembering things wrong, because the AI will connect dots for you still, even though you might get pieces of information wrong. And your boy, he's got Swiss cheese brain sometimes. So I'll just get things just straight up wrong. And, the AI helps you get around some of those shortcomings. So just another reason why I wanted to leave the rawness of what I type in there like that. Let's see. The trend is affecting many online platforms. Here are the key developments. Number one, Chegg sues Google over AI overviews. The educational technology company Chegg, I think I'm saying that right, maybe it's Chegg, I don't know, I've never heard of them, has filed lawsuit against Google claiming that AI overviews are reducing traffic to its website and hurting its business. Chegg alleges that Google is using publishers' content to keep users on its platform, depriving them of revenue. Now, keep note of that last sentence, because that's crucial, because that ends up becoming the defense Google is using for, AI overviews are good. And this company is saying, no, that's the bad reason why. So this is the bone of contention here. Let's see. Number two, significant traffic declines. Some digital marketers report dramatic declines in website traffic for their clients. So again, this is affecting SEO, with some experiencing drops of up to 60% overall. Wow. And also, too, I just want to point out real quick, because I don't use Perplexity a ton, and I've had a lot of new subscribers since last time I used Perplexity. You'll see these little numbers in here. And what this is actually links to different sites that Perplexity is using to ingest in this information, because it's using another layer on top of chat. It actually has ChatGPT underneath and behind, but it uses another technology called RAG, which basically goes out and searches the internet for you in real time and enhances what the ChatGPT is doing already. And Perplexity is kind of doing the same thing that Google Gemini is, but on steroids. And they're getting sued, for similar reasons. So, inception, what can I say? So yeah, wow, 60% decline. I didn't know it was that bad. So yeah, it is an apocalypse, right? Well, I guess not in the true meaning of the word apocalypse, if you're a biblical scholar, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Branded traffic has seen a notable decline, while non-branded traffic has fallen approximately 38%. Not an expert on traffic, so I don't know what the difference between branded and non-branded traffic is, but still, I mean, if you see a 38% decline in something in your business, that is a red flag. That's not good. Let's see, the potential impact on the publishing industry. So this is actually in particular where Perplexity is getting in trouble, because they do a lot with the news and video platforms are not happy with Perplexity for this potential area of what it's doing. So it says Chegg CEO Nathan Schultz warns that Google's AI overviews could lead to a hollowed out information ecosystem that is unreliable and unworthy of trust. That's interesting. The lawsuit argues that this move is not only impacting digital publishers, but also compromising the quality of information available to users. And I can see what he's saying to a degree, because there have been times when I've asked Google for information on how to do something in one of my graphic design programs, and it will actually give me instructions for another program, or it'll go, oh, well, you're you, because I use the Affinity products on Mac, and it goes, oh, well, this is a photographic editing software. I'll just substitute the word Affinity Photo in where, Adobe Photoshop would be, and give you the same instructions. And I've had that in my photo editing software. I've had that in my video editing software. So I can kind of see what he's saying, but that's just a training issue, honestly. But maybe he's referring to something else. I don't know, but that's just kind of been my experience with it. Let's see. And here's Google's defense. Google maintains that AI overviews help users find information more easily and drive traffic to a broader range of websites. The company argues that the feature creates new opportunities for content discovery. And I can see that, because their whole mission is to create, the optimized search experience. Because again, this is what put Google on the map in the old days, because there was a massive search engine war in the early to mid 90s. And, we had Yahoo. Well, Yahoo is like no longer, it's not even a verb, because we call it Googling, right? Google became the lexicon. But there was a period of time where Yahoo actually was the king, and they were an early seed investor in Google. And because they saw the potential what Google was doing to improve the search results, and Google ended up becoming the dominant in the search engine landscape. So, but still, even though in winner and loser terms, Yahoo is no longer like the name brand or anything, it's still like I think like I don't want to say a multi-billion-dollar company, but they're still making some significant money. They still make a lot of money. So yeah, it's just interesting how branding works. But let's move on here. Let's see, broader implications. The situation raises questions about the future of online search and the relationship between search engines and content creators. So, the idea that specifically, I'm assuming, it'll be the same, because Gemini is Google's answer to ChatGPT or OpenAI's AI product. I'm overgeneralizing, but there's similar methodologies in how you train these AIs. And one of the things that OpenAI has been very open about is they go around and they rove the internet and ingest in a lot of content to train these AIs. And actually, Google has a particular advantage, because they already know where the good content is, right? They had, because I did the video on Big Brother 2.0, where I talked about how Google is using cleaners, humans, to go out and curate the websites and make the search better. And then they automated a lot of that with AI. And so now the next layer is Gemini, where they're leveraging that advantage. But somehow ChatGPT is the dominant one. So, in a brand aspect, Google is trying to play catch up, but they actually have the technological advantage because they know where all the good content is. But then there's the question of, do I want the AIs to slurp in or spider all my content just so that they can, on the off chance that I'll have it in the overview? Then there's all the SEO stuff. So it's adding a lot of other layers of complexity. But while this is all happening, businesses are dying off and suffering from the loss of the traffic. So, there's copyright questions around all of this too. So this is going to be an interesting ethical as well as a legal dilemma around copyright and who actually owns the right, because if you put something on the internet, it's public, right? So if you don't want people to get access to it, you put it behind a paywall. But I mean, even sometimes there's sites that I use where you can get around paywall. So I don't know. This is just me kind of, questioning out loud. But anyway, let's see. While Stack Overflow is not specifically mentioned in the search results as a popular Q&A platform for developers, it could potentially be affected by these changes in search behavior and traffic patterns. Website owners and content creators may need to adapt their strategies to navigate this evolving landscape of AI-powered search results. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, search engines have been around since, when they were lists of lists. I remember in the very early 90s, when I would dial into the internet, and there was what was the one guy? I think it was called David's List of Lists. That was like that was the search engine of the day. And then AOL came in and they curated content, and they were actually literally copying the entire internet on their servers when the internet was small enough to do that. So yeah, just the idea to be able to search and categorize content. There's so much content now. We have to have these automated systems go around and catalog and grade the quality and curate the quality. And there's censorship questions around that, and controlling the narrative and truth and all that. But for the most of that period of time, it's actually been a good experience. And some people will debate on that, but we have definitely seen in the last several years where there was definitely a narrative being pushed, and some truth filtering and tampering of voices and things of that nature. And but the lighter side of this is that traffic is just going to go away to a lot of these people that have these voices, in addition to, it looks like, just regular businesses are complaining. So I don't know what Chegg, what kind of content they have, but yeah, this whole thing about the new AI overview is really going to lead to some very interesting conundrums for a lot of businesses moving forward. But anyway, I didn't see a lot of people talking about the web traffic apocalypse, and you always hear all the stuff like jobs, but it's not just jobs. AI is disrupting a lot of industries in a lot of different ways that we have no idea that are happening in real time. It's going to happen so fast. And that's why I want to cover these things, so that you get a little flavor of what's going on. But anyway, if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think. And in the meantime, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.